Hey guys, welcome back. So today I'm going to be doing a recap of my 2020 Best of Beauty favorites. So this video doesn't really need an introduction because it's going to be long as hell. So without further ado, we're just going to get into it. You know what it's about. You know what's happening here, okay? So we're going to start it off. Grab a snack and we're just going to dive right in, okay? So I think we'll start with the makeup, move on to skin, hair, fragrance, all those extra goodies at the end. But we're gonna do the makeup first. I feel like in 2020, I didn't use that much makeup, so I want to try to touch on each topic or like each category, but I didn't necessarily wear like foundation that much last year just because for obvious reasons. We don't need to go into details, you know why. But I am gonna try to cover most categories, but if I forget anything, definitely just leave a comment and I'll try to, answer some of the categories that I may have missed, but fingers crossed I did not forget anything. Okay, so let's get started. So first up we have foundation, which is one of my most asked questions, like what's my favorite foundation? So I have two here to talk about and they are very different. So first up we have the YSL Touche Éclat All-in-One Glow. I am shade BD50 for this, and this is a light to medium lightweight tinted moisturizer type product. I just apply it with my hands. I squirt it on my hands and I rub it all over. It's just so easy to apply and it looks great. It looks just like your skin but better, and I just love the finish. I love the coverage. It's like a light coverage. It doesn't feel like a heavy mask. It lets like your freckles and stuff peek through, and it lasts all day as well. So I absolutely love this. I've talked about this I think for a few years now, but it's still one of my top picks. And then for a full coverage, all day, all night event, not like anyone's doing any kind of events these days, but this is my go-to when I want to look flawless. So this is the DIOR Forever Skin Glow Foundation. I am in the shade 4 Warm Olive. Right now, this is too tan for me. Usually when I have an event, I'm like tan, but right now I'm not self-tanning at all, so this would be too dark for me at the moment, but I absolutely love it. It looks flawless. It looks airbrushed. It is pretty full coverage, but it doesn't feel thick and heavy. It just looks beautiful in person, in photographs. It's just my favorite when I want to look good. All day, all night, this is what I'm wearing. Now moving on to primers. So I have two to talk about. One is high-end, one is drugstore. The high-end one I don't think I have even used on my channel yet. I discovered it this fall and I fell in love. But let's talk about the drugstore one first, which I've used on my channel several times in makeup tutorials this year. This is the e.l.f. Luminous Putty Primer. So I love the luminous version of this. I feel like it blurs your pores, makes your makeup last all day, but it also gives you a little bit of like a golden glow. So it's really pretty under your makeup just to add like a little bit of, glowy angelicness. I typically don't like to wear like a lot of highlighter on my face. I pretty much only put it on my nose. So I like to have like a little bit of glow there without having to like put it on my cheeks and like be beaming up to the gods. So this is one of my favorites, and it makes your makeup last all day and it helps like blur your pores. So I really love this and it's super affordable. I didn't really love the matte version or like the original version of this. It was just like too much for me, and I don't know, it didn't do anything for me, but I do love the luminous version. And then another primer that I love, which is also luminous, is the Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk Primer. I also really love the foundation of this, but if I'm picking a full coverage foundation, it's going to be the DIOR. But I absolutely love this. It reminds me a lot of the DIOR Backstage Primer, which I also love, but this one is a little bit more hydrating. So that one dries down more to like a matte finish. This is going to give you not like a dewy look, but it's going to be a little bit more hydrating and a little bit more luminous. So I really, really love this one. And if you're looking for a primer that's a little bit more hydrating and not super mattifying, but still makes your makeup last all day, definitely check out this one from Armani. Now moving on to concealer. My number one concealer for the year has to be the DIOR Forever Skin Correct Concealer. So I have this in the shade 2N, but I also have 1W. So I usually mix these two to get like my perfect color. I think like the in-between color was sold out when I originally purchased this, so that's why I have two. I could probably find a shade in between here. Maybe there's like a 1.5, I'm not really sure, but 2N and 1W gives me kind of like my perfect under eye, and I'm actually wearing these today. I love the coverage of these. It's very full coverage. It reminds me of like Shape Tape, but more hydrated and not as like matte and drying. So if you like Shape Tape and you wanted something that was like a little bit more hydrating and not so like thick and heavy, definitely check this out. I absolutely love it. I wear it underneath my eyes. I wear it all over my face as to kind of like, you know, conceal or brighten, whatever I want to do. But I love the formula of this. It doesn't make my under eyes look dry and crepey, and it stays put all day. So I definitely would recommend the Dior Forever Skin Correct Concealer. Next, we're moving on to powders, and if you are an avid watcher of mine, you already know what powder I'm going to say. I'm going to say it till I'm blue in the face because I feel like not enough people know about this powder and use this powder, and it's literally everything to me. Like if I have to do my makeup without this powder for some reason, I do not like the way that I look, okay? It's like a huge game changer, and I know that a lot of people say game changer, but this is a game changer, okay? If you've tried it, comment in the comments that it is a game changer, because you know that it is, okay? So it's the ILIA Soft Focus Powder. It's the best powder ever. It's talc free, which I specifically look for, especially for under eye powders, because when I use powders that have talc in them, it exacerbates and like causes milia for me. I'm very milia prone in my under eyes, and I have found that eliminating talc powders in that area specifically helps me so much, okay? So that's why I like clean beauty products, specifically powders, because I know that they're going to be talc free. Anyways, this is the best powder ever. It gives you the most flawless airbrush skin ever, and it's truly translucent. I use this to set my under eyes, but I can also use it all over my face because I know it's not going to change the color of my bronzer or my blush or anything like that, and it truly makes your face look poreless and just perfect. I like to apply this with a sponge or with a brush, but I feel like a sponge and tapping it in and pressing it in will give you more of a flawless finish, but you can use a brush as well, and it's just the best powder ever. I wish they made like a giant vat of this that I could just dip my body into. It's just the best powder ever. So ILIA, please make a jumbo size, because I probably go through 2 of these a year, maybe 3. Like if you want to bake with this, you're gonna need a lot, but it's just so worth it. It is so worth it. If you buy anything from my recommendations, just let it be this, okay? It's just the best. So then we have another powder to talk about. I discovered this year, and I do have a whole video showing how I use this as a powder foundation. It's not marketed as a powder foundation. There's I think maybe like 6 shades of this, so it's not meant to be a foundation. I think that they advertise it as more of like a finishing powder, but I use it as a foundation, and it's literally perfect, okay? Like if the ILIA had like a color version, like a colored pressed version, like this would be it. It's so good. It's the COVERGIRL Clean Fresh Pressed Powder. I have this in light, I have it in medium, and actually recently I started using the rich color as a bronzer. And let me tell you, that's going to be in my 2021 favorites next year. I already know it, okay? So this powder is so good. Again, it will make you look airbrushed. It's just everything, okay? Use this as a foundation. Use this to set your makeup. Do whatever you want with it. Just try it, okay? It's that good. Then the next product is like a pressed powder palette / highlighter. And I feel like maybe I've talked about this on my channel maybe like once, and it may come as a shock to you that I'm showing it in this video, but I use this powder or this palette on like a daily basis to buff my face. I can also use it as a highlighter. I can also use it as an eyeshadow, and I never really talk about it just because it's just some like, I don't know why I don't talk about it, but I use it all of the time, okay? So it's the Too Faced Born This Way Complexion Enhancing Highlighting Palette. I absolutely love this. This is in the shade Tan. So it has 3 powders in here. It has this soft focus powder, which I use to buff my face like after I do my makeup and before I do setting spray. So I love this. And then these over here are highlighters. This one I love is like an eyeshadow like topper. It's just like the prettiest bronze sparkle. And then this, again, you can just use this like a bronzy eyeshadow or to highlight your face if you don't want anything too extreme. But this palette, I use it all the time. It's so just like multi-purpose and I love it. And I wish that I talked about it more because I feel like I just love it so much. The only thing is though, is that the medium palette, I have the medium as well and I don't really love the medium. So maybe it's just I don't like it on my skin tone, but I feel like the medium is so much lighter than the tan. So I think that's why I don't really talk about it that much because I don't really like the medium color. But the tan palette I love. So if you are tan or if you're like close in complexion to me, try this palette out. Like this as an eyeshadow, like maybe just put it on top really quick. It's just so pretty. I just love it, okay? So now let's talk about bronzer. I have two to mention, one that I use for all over and the one that I use to contour my nose because I don't like to use the same bronzer on my nose as I do everywhere else because it's too dark and it's too much. So my favorite bronzer ever in life currently is this one from ILIA. It is their Novelty Nightlight Bronzing Powder. And I've said this so many times, but this is the perfect olive tan bronzer. The undertone of this is this beautiful goldeny yellow undertone. If you have an olive skin tone and you're close to my complexion, you have to try this. It is so perfect, and not even just the color. The formula of this is buttery. It doesn't go on patchy. It doesn't look chalky. It's just the perfect formula, the perfect color, and I love it. So they do have this in another shade. I want to say it's a lighter shade, but this color right here is the perfect olive bronzer. And then for my contour color, I love this DIOR Backstage Contour Palette. I use pretty much all of the colors. Like these I will use as eyeshadow, so I don't use them as heavily as I do this one. As you'll see, like this one has more product used, but I do love the whole palette, but this color right here is everything. It is the most beautiful, like light olive khaki bronzer. It's cool tone, but it's not like grayish and it's not pinkish. It's just the best. It's not too dark. It blends beautifully, and I wish they made it in a bigger size, but I've been using this for over a year now, I believe, and I still have a good amount left. But I know that I'm going to hit pan on this way before all the other ones, but that's okay. If Dior wants to make this in a larger size, though, I would not be mad. I would not be mad. Next category I want to talk about is blush, and I have several blushes that I want to mention just because they're all so different, and I am a blush fiend, okay? So I can't just pick one. So I believe I have 4 that I want to talk about. So the first one is this liquid blush from Glossier. It is the Glossier Cloud Paint in the shade Storm. So I believe I have this, yeah, I think in my like go-to spring summer makeup look tutorial on my channel is where I use this. It's the most beautiful sunburn, sun-kissed blush ever, and I love the formulation of the Glossier Cloud Paints. I've tried so many cream blushes and I feel like a lot of them, they're like too sticky or they don't dry down, or they go on patchy, or they lift up when you're blending. This one does not do that. It's the perfect formula. I need to get more shades because this one is like a little bit dark for me since I'm not tan right now, but I'll just show you guys really quick what the color looks like. As you can see, it's kind of like this, almost like a brick red. It's so pretty, and like I said, I need to get more colors because this one is just like a little bit too dark for me. So there it is, kind of like blended out. It has like this like watercolor type finish. It's just so beautiful. And then for my kind of like go-to blush color, it's a very natural, goes with pretty much any look, is this one from Charlotte Tilbury. It's one of their nipple blushes that is called Climax. So I love this. It's so neutral. I love that it has like the matte with the shimmery blush in the center. I love it. It looks good when I'm tan, it looks good when I'm not tan, and the formula is beautiful. Even though it has like a little bit of shimmeriness in the center, it doesn't accentuate pores or anything like that. So I love this one. Oh wait, I think I actually have 5 blushes total. Okay, so the next one is this one from Dior. It is their Coral Backstage Rosy Glow Blush. And this one I love in the summertime. It's this gorgeous pastel coral blush. They also have a pink one, which I like, but I have to be very careful with that one because that one can go like sidewalk chalk real quick on my cheeks. But this one, it just is the most beautiful peachy color ever, and it just looks so good on the skin. So I love that one. And then my favorite pink blush, and I'm actually wearing this one today, is the Burt's Bees blush in the shade, I believe it's called Shy Pink. But it's the perfect baby pink. I love this as a wintertime blush. In the winter, I love like a very rosy cheek. So this one is perfect. It has like maybe a tiny bit of shimmer in there, but it doesn't really translate to the face. And it's just so, so pretty. So we have that one. And then lastly, we have this one from ALLLL. I love all of these blushes. Like they have a bunch of different colors, but I wanted to mention the peachy one. It's their Healthy Hue blush in So Peachy. So if you want like a nice peachy blush that's not as peachy as the Dior one, this one's really good, and it's drugstore, and it has a little bit of shimmer in there, and it's just beautiful. So I'm sorry that I had to talk about 5 blushes, but I really could not narrow down. I tried. I really tried. Then for a highlighter, I had a hard time picking this because I don't really highlight my face very often, and I pretty much only highlight my nose, and sometimes I just use an eyeshadow, so I was like, should I even mention one? But this one I've had for a few years now, and I still just love it, and it makes a great eyeshadow as well, and I love that it has 2 sides. So it is the Fenty Mean Money Hustle Baby Duo. So this one makes a really good like under the brow bone highlight, which I love that. It's just very subtle. You can even use this to highlight like down the bridge of your nose. It's not too shimmery. And then this side is like the perfect light rose gold color. It's just so flattering on my skin tone. I love it on the inner corner. I love it as an eyeshadow. So yeah, if I had to put a highlighter in my makeup bag and only pick one, I would pick this one because it has the more matte highlight and the shimmery side. And a lot of eyeshadow palettes I've found don't have a color like this, and I'm always wishing that they did. So it's nice to just have that color in this little highlight duo. Then next, I want to mention my favorite setting spray for this year, and setting spray is something I will not do without. Like, I don't like how my makeup looks if I don't spray it with setting spray. It just makes everything melt together and gets rid of any like powderiness and makes everything last. And this one makes everything transfer proof, which is key in this day and age with the mask situation. So this has been my favorite all year. It's the Smashbox Photo Finish setting spray. I love it. It's a nice transfer proof setting spray, but it's not super drying. You know how sometimes you spray a setting spray, but it feels like it's like sucking all of the moisture out of your skin? This one does not do that, but it still makes everything transfer proof and gets rid of that cakey look. So if I had to pick one, it would definitely be this one from Smashbox. Then next, let's move on and talk about eyes. I didn't really wear a ton of eyeshadow this year, and if I'm being honest, most of the time I just do bronzer in the crease, and then whatever highlight I'm wearing that day, I'll pop it on my inner corner and like the inner part of my lid. But I did want to mention an eyeshadow palette that I do really love and recommend, and I believe I discovered this in the beginning of 2020, so I had to mention it, and it is the Too Faced Born This Way palette. It has basically any color you would need as a neutral lover. It doesn't have a black, but I really don't ever use black eyeshadow. So this is it right here. It has, you know, basically any color you would need. I love that it has mattes and shimmers, and these like pressed kind of like, not glittery, but just shimmery shadows. They're so pretty, and they're just so easy to apply. I just use my fingers, and it's just a really good everyday palette. If you're looking for a good neutral palette, definitely check this one out. And then I have 2 cream shadows that I wanted to talk about. The first one is this one from the Lip Bar. It's this kind of like liquid glitter shadow in the color Superstar, and I love this just on the lid. It is absolutely gorgeous. Like, do you see that right there? It's just glittery. It lasts on the lid all day. It doesn't get creasy. It doesn't irritate my sensitive eyes. And it's just like the perfect bronzy color. And then this Laura Mercier Cream Caviar eyeshadow stick, I love for my inner corner. I love like a really bright inner corner. And this one is beautiful. It is in the shade Metallic Taupe. I have this on my inner corner today. And it just gives you that really bright-eyed look, and it lasts all day. Sometimes like a powder eyeshadow will kind of like disappear throughout the day. This one stays all day and it looks absolutely beautiful. And I wanted to show you really quick, I also have this lip bar shadow in the shade It Girl. If you want something like less bronzy, more of like a rose gold, this one is really beautiful too. Then I have two mascaras that I wanted to mention. They are both higher end, but I really love these. And even though they are more expensive, I feel like they don't dry out like super quick, and that's what makes them worth it to me. Like if I have like an expensive ass mascara and it dries up quickly, it doesn't matter how much I love it, I'm not gonna keep buying it. But these, neither of them dry out quick, and I love the way that they make my lashes look. So first we have the Giorgio Armani Eyes to Kill. This one just makes your eyelashes look so wispy and lifted and volumized and lengthened all at the same time. It doesn't get flaky or anything like that on me, and it has, you know, your typical traditional style mascara wand. It's nothing crazy, but the formula is just so good and I love it. And then the other one that I wanted to mention is the ILIA Limitless Lash Mascara, and the brush on this one is very different. There's a lot going on here. It has like all these different sides, but it's really good at lengthening and separating and volumizing, and it's just a really good overall mascara. And sometimes I prefer a brush like this, like if I want to get rid of any clumps and I want my lashes to look more natural, this almost acts like a lash separator. So these two have definitely been my most used this year. Then the next product I wanted to mention has not only been my favorite eyebrow product for 2020, but also my favorite eyeliner, and that is the Urban Decay BROWBLADE. So I used this the entire year of 2020 and it still has not dried out or got crumbly or anything like that on me. It's just, I can't believe it just keeps going and going. It's like the freaking Energizer Bunny. Like it just keeps lasting. So it's the BROWBLADE in the shade Dark Drapes. So I use this basically every single time I do my makeup to do my little brown wing. It's just the perfect tip. It's very fine. It's very precise. And I think because they made it to do like fine little hair-like strokes, it has just like the perfect tip. And that's what makes like the perfect winged liner tip, is because it's just so fine. Like you don't want anything too thick or chunky. This brush tip is just literally everything. So I use this for my wings, but also I use it for my brows. So if my hair is lighter, I will use this in the shade Neutral Nana, but right now I'm using Dark Drapes because my hair is darker. But the pencil side is also really good. You know, it blends really nicely. It's a very fine tip, and I just love it. This is also waterproof, by the way, which makes it even better. It doesn't smear or smudge or anything like that, and it's just honestly the perfect product for me for brows and for my eyeliner. So then the final makeup category we have is lips, and for lips I don't really venture out too much. I just like my basic nudes. I don't like pinky nudes. I don't like peachy nudes. I just like a very neutral nude. So I have a few lip liners and lip products I wanted to mention. For my lip liners, these are the best. I've gone through so many of these. They are the Marc Jacobs POUTLINERS. I love them. You don't have to sharpen them. They just have like a little twisty. You can sharpen them, I guess, if you want, but I love both of these. I have it in the shade Au Coco and also in the shade Nudist. Both I love. It just depends on if I want something a little bit, you know, more contoured with more depth, I'll go with Au Coco, or if I want something more natural, I'll go with Nudist. But I love the formula of these. They last on your lips all day. They're so creamy, and I don't know what else to say. Anytime I use a different lip liner, I'm wishing I used these because the formula is just so good. I know they're more expensive, but I have yet to find a drugstore lip liner that has the same blendability and the creaminess and the longevity. So these are totally worth it for me to spend a little extra on, and the colors are just perfection. So we have those, and a lot of the times I'll just fill in my lips with those as well and put on like a clear like chapstick, but I will talk about a few lip colors. So one that I wear a lot, and it is expensive, but I guess these are refillable tubes. I haven't needed to refill one yet, but this is the Charlotte Tilbury JK Magic lipstick. It is kind of like a satiny type finish. It's just, you know, like your standard type of nude. If you like similar lip colors to me, you will like this. It's so pretty. The formula is great. Love it. Then another lip color that I wanted to mention is this one from Fenty. If you want something that like looks like a gloss and gives you like that shine and that sheen, definitely check these out. This is the Fenty Slip Shine Sheer Shiny Lipstick in the shade Glazed. And these are really pretty. They're just like a nice sheer formula. So there it is there. It's just like a nice sheer shiny formula, and it's very comfortable on the lips. And then the last one I wanted to mention is the one that I'm wearing today, and I've been wearing this pretty much non-stop since like September. This is the Honest Beauty BFF liquid lipstick. I love it. It's transfer proof, which is ideal for masks, but it's also a really comfortable liquid lipstick. Like a lot of liquid lipsticks make your lips feel like a dried old butthole and just make your lips look like a butthole, feel like a butthole. And no, they're not good. This one is comfortable to wear, and I just love it. So I need to get more colors of these, but this is honestly like the perfect darker nude for me, and I've been loving it for like the cooler weather. It's just perfect. So I believe that's it for makeup. I really hope I was not forgetting any categories. Again, let me know if I did forget anything. Now let's move on to skin and skincare. So the first product I wanted to mention is actually kind of like a makeup product, but it's technically a sunscreen. And again, I have a whole video. I believe it's my go-to spring and summer makeup video where I use this. It's the Elastin Hydratint Mineral Sunscreen. I'm wearing this today actually, and I'm not wearing a foundation. Most of the time when I use this, I don't feel the need to use a foundation on top. You totally can, but I love this on its own. It just evens out your skin tone. It has so many great like anti-aging benefits in there as well, and it's hydrating, it's long lasting, it's mineral based. I love mineral based sunscreens. The only thing that I would say about this is that it only comes in one shade. In the summertime, what I do to make this work for my tan is I add in like one like tiny drop of a darker foundation and mix it in, and then it works for me. But it does suck that they only have one shade. But most of the year, this is like my perfect shade. Like if I don't have a tan at all, like this matches my skin tone so well. Like the color of it, let me just show you really quick. It is like a nice like olivey tone almost. Like a lot of tinted sunscreens pull like super pink or super orange, but this one is just really, really close to my natural skin tone, and I just love it. And it's also a really amazing sunscreen. I've worn this in Punta Cana. I wore it all summer long, and I've never had a burn on my face with this. Then I have two chemical exfoliants that I want to talk about for skincare. This one right here is the Pharmacy Deep Sweep 2% BHA Pore Cleaning Toner. This has totally replaced my Paula's Choice 2% BHA liquid. I love that one, and I feel like they are very similar products and they're going to give you really similar results. The only thing and the benefit of this one is that it dries down better. It doesn't leave that like kind of tacky, shiny finish. This one like absorbs more and like sinks into the skin more, and I just love it. It's amazing for keeping your skin clear. It clears out your pores and exfoliates your pores on the inside because it is a BHA, and I absolutely love it. And it is also alcohol free, which is nice, so it's not gonna like dry out and make your skin feel like dry and stripped. So I use this pretty much every single morning, and I am out, and I need to order a new bottle ASAP. And then the other chemical exfoliant I tried and fell in love with this year is the Summer Fridays Soft Reset AHA Exfoliating Solution. This I now use instead of my Pharmacy Honeymoon Glow. I still love that product, but I do feel like this product is stronger. So if you want to like graduate from that one and you want to try something a little bit stronger, this one is definitely stronger, but it is so good at giving you that glass skin look. It gets rid of any like dead skin. It helps like prevent breakouts, and I really love it. It makes your skin tone more even. And yeah, it's definitely more strong than the Pharmacy Honeymoon Glow. So if you're new to chemical exfoliants or AHAs, probably use this like once a week and then work your way up. And I personally, when I use this product, I just apply a moisturizer over top of it, just because it is stronger. I don't want it to interfere with any of my other serums. So I will use this probably like 2 or 3 days a week, and then I just follow it with a moisturizer. And I only use this at nighttime, by the way. And then for skincare serums, these are what I use basically every single night, and I use them all at the same time. So if you haven't seen my PM skincare routine, definitely check that out. But these are the products I've used. I've gone through several of these. So first we have the Truth Treatments Trifecta system. So I use this morning and night. So this is the Truth Treatments Vitamin C Serum. You do a few drops of this, a few sprays of the Biomimetic Mineral Mist. It like activates it, and then I also do a pump of the Hyaluronic Mineral Hydrator, which is like a hyaluronic acid type hydrator. So I just do a little cocktail of this in my hands. I do a few drops of this, a few sprays of this, one pump of this, and then I also at nighttime, this I use during the day and night, and then at nighttime I add in a pump of my Osmosis Renew Advanced Retinol Serum. This is the retinol serum that I use. I don't use the prescription grade, but these are medical grade, and I feel like my skin has never looked better since I switched to using these. These are more expensive because they are medical grade, but honestly, Sephora's prices for their skincare are like pretty comparable to these. And I do have a code for the medical grade website, which I order these from. It is Steph22. I will link below. But I feel like I've noticed such a huge difference since I switched to medical grade, and these are what I use. So this I use morning and night, this trio, and then this I use at night. You can use this during the day too, because it's a retinol with an A. It doesn't add any sensitivity to the sun, but it does have lactic acid in there, which helps to exfoliate, but I only use this at nighttime. So that's it for skincare. Then I have two kind of like miscellaneous products. First is the Lumify eye drops. These, if you have red eyes or like just irritated eyes, you need to try these. They make your eyes so bright and white and just look healthy, but they don't cause like that typical irritation that like Visine has, like that rebound redness that makes your eyes look redder and like feel irritated after it wears off. These are just everything. I use them basically every day, and when I don't use them, I feel like I look like a dead body. Like they make such a huge difference, and they don't irritate my eyes at all. I've been using them like basically every day for years. And then the eyelash serum that I'm currently using and I used for the majority of 2020 is this one. It's the Dr. Devgan Scientific Beauty Platinum Long Lash. I was using Grande Lash before I started trying this, and I did really love that one, but it made my eyelids darken. And once I stopped using it, I realized how big of a difference it was, like how dark it was making my lids. So that one is good and it's cheaper, but this one I have found is just as good for making my lashes look nice and long, but it doesn't add that darkness, doesn't make my eyes feel irritated, and it is very expensive. So this is my second tube of this, and one tube lasts me about 6 months. So it is more expensive, but if you divide it by 6, I feel like it's not that much. And then the supplement that I have been taking for my hair, skin, and nails that I have been raving about for the past few months, ever since I tried this, like I never want to be without it. It has given me the most impressive results, the quickest results, and I just cannot say enough about it. It is the ever so popular Modere BIOCELL Life. They have a few different versions, but I take the Life one, which is supposed to be the best for hair. But this is a hyaluronic acid and collagen supplement. It's a liquid supplement. You don't mix it with anything. You just take 2 tablespoons of this a day, and I'm telling you, it'll do amazing things for your skin and your hair. Like my hair has been growing so crazy. Like I have so much like new growth on my hairline. It also has made my skin so just like naturally glowy. Like even if I have no product on my face whatsoever, my skin just looks so incredibly glowy and just like more plump and youthful. And the other thing that I've recently noticed with this is, and I think it's because of the hyaluronic acid, but my skin on like my body is significantly less dry. So now we're like in the winter here in New York, and I'm usually just a pile of ashes. Like my skin gets so ashy that it's like, did you just burn down your house? Like, why is your skin so ashy? Okay. And now since using this, I've been using this for 3 months now. And now my skin is like the teeniest, tiniest bit of ashy, like just a little tiny layer of ash in comparison to like a thick layer of ashes. Okay. I don't know how else to describe it, but this has done amazing things for me. It is more expensive. I do have a code that you can use for your first order. Like if you're a new customer, I'll put it on screen here, but it's just so freaking good. And so many of you guys have told me you started using this and have had amazing results already. So I can't say enough. If you're looking for a hair, skin, and nail supplement, try this and you will not regret it. Then next, really quickly, I wanted to talk about self-tanners. I'm currently not self-tanning because I have like tinea versicolor or whatever it's called all over my body. So it's like white spots. So if I tan, I look very ill. But I did want to mention 2 self-tanning products that I do love. So first are these Alpha Beta Glow Pads from Dr. Dennis Gross. These for the face are truly everything. They're an exfoliant, like an AHA, along with a self-tanner for the face, and it just makes your skin look so glowy and tan and just fresh and renewed and just perfect. So these are like my little secret for like not wearing makeup. I have a whole video, I think it's titled like how to look better without makeup, and this is one of my tips. They're so freaking good. And then for body self-tanner, I'm so incredibly lazy and I pretty much never do a full body self-tan unless I had some sort of special occasion. So typically I would just use this Bondi Sands Everyday Gradual Tanning Milk. It's just a body lotion that has self-tanner in it. It's so good. If you're lazy with self-tanner, just use this. Just use this. Like 2 or 3 days of the week, you can just use this after you get out of the shower, and that is enough for me. I don't need to be super dark and super tan. Like this is like my natural coloring, so I don't feel like I need to be super dark all the time. And in the summer, I get pretty dark just from the sun, and I don't really self-tan from like May till October usually, so I really don't self-tan that often, but when I do, I just like something quick and easy and foolproof like this. We are almost done here. Please bear with me. We have hair products, then fragrance, then we'll be done. And I don't really have very many hair products because, to be honest, I don't like applying hair products. I just don't like the way they make my hair feel, so I'm pretty minimal with my hair. But the first product I had to mention is my Jisoo Honey Infused Hair Mask. I'm obsessed with this. This is the best hair mask ever. It makes my hair feel like butter, and it feels so hydrated, but it doesn't weigh it down, and it's not full of like gross silicones. It's just the best. Smells amazing. A little goes a long way. This is relatively expensive, but now they carry this at Sephora, so during Sephora sales is the time to stock up for this. It's just so good. I have never tried a better hair mask in my life, so I will continue to repurchase. I think this is my 3rd jar. And then for dry shampoo, my favorite is this one from Redken. It's their Invisible Dry Shampoo. It's truly invisible. It feels very minimal on your hair as well, because I don't like that feeling that most dry shampoos give your hair, like that weird like filmy texture. I don't like that feel. I know like that's what's cleaning your hair for you, but I don't like that feel. So this one is invisible and it has a very light texture to it, like a little tiny bit of texture, and I love it. It's also fragrance free, which I like because I like to wear perfume in my hair and I don't like to smell dry shampoo all day. So this is just like my perfect dry shampoo. And then my number 1 hair tool for 2020 was definitely the Dyson Airwrap. I'm absolutely obsessed with mine. I feel like this is a product that's either like a love or hate, and it's a strong love for me. I love like big bouncy curls. and just like volume. So if that's like what you're into, I think that you will love this. If you're into more like beachy waves, I don't know if you're really going to be obsessed with this, but if you love big, bouncy, blown out looking hair, you're really gonna love this. It's also way better for your hair. It's less damaging. It doesn't get super hot. You're not like clamping your hair between an iron, and I just really love it. This is the longer barrel, and it's also the bigger diameter one, and I just love it. So I do have a video on my channel that shows how I use this and how I style my hair with it from wet to dry. So definitely check that out if you haven't seen it. But I really love my Dyson. Love it. Loves it. So we have made it to the last and final category, which is fragrance. If you watch my channel, you know that I love fragrance, and I've done several fragrance videos this year, and I love talking about it, and I love trying new ones. So I have 3 here to share with you guys. They're all new ones that I tried in 2020 and fell in love with. First is the Tom Ford Eau de Soleil Blanc. This is just the best vacation summertime smell. It just smells like a rich bitch at the beach. That's the only way I could describe it. I say it every time. It's just like a fancy, citrusy sunscreen by a girl who has money. That's what it smells like. Like, she's got money. She's at the beach. She's citrusy. She's coconutty. She's just everything you want to be in life. So definitely would recommend this if you're looking for a vacation scent or a summertime scent. This one is so good. And this is the O version, not the regular one in the white bottle. That one is just like too heavy or too something for me. This one in the frosted bottle is just everything. Then the next one I wanted to mention is also in a frosted bottle. And this is from KKW Fragrance, which... is it still going to be KKW Fragrance after they get divorced? What's happening? I don't know. Is it just going to be KK? I don't know. But anyways, this is Crystal Violet Musk, and I love this. It is so good. I love this just for like a daytime scent or a nighttime scent, but I think it does best for like spring and winter. It's so just like warm and inviting smelling. To me, it smells like a musky lavender marshmallow. But not like strong essential oil lavender like that. I don't want to smell like. This is just like a warm, just cuddly lavender marshmallow hug. It has like vanilla in there and lavender, and it's so good. It's like what I wanted Mon Guerlain to be, but that one has some note in it that does not sit well with me. And this one is just so good. So if you're looking for just like a day-to-day go-to fragrance, this one is really nice and it's affordable. And then the last one is this one from Kilian. It's called Angel Share, and I'm absolutely obsessed with this. I was wearing this when we got engaged, so I'm always going to be obsessed with this, and I'm always going to have a bottle to bring me back to that memory. But I've said this in my past few videos, it smells like a sexual Cinnabon. If you love cinnamon, you absolutely need to order this because it's just so intoxicating smelling. It's like a dry cinnamon, woody, sweet scent. It's just so unlike anything I have in my collection, and I'm absolutely obsessed, and I'm so happy that I was wearing this when I got engaged because it's just such an addicting smell. But yeah, those are my top 3 fragrances that I tried in 2020 that I fell in love with, and I believe that is going to wrap up the 2020 favorites. So there was a lot to cover here. I have no idea how long this video is. Hopefully I don't have to split it into 2 parts, but I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know what your favorite products of 2020 have been, and if you've tried any of these or loved any of these, let me know. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for all of the love and support in 2020. I love you guys so much, and I will see you guys next time.
I'm literally exhausted. How can I be this exhausted just from speaking? I just feel like winded. I feel very winded. I feel like I'm going to develop a sore throat. I just feel out of breath. I gotta be done. I gotta be done with this. Are we done here? I think we're done here.